that from Josh. You might not expect that from Doe.
Why is it expected from me?
Because you just look like you got your life going on.
Stop fat shaming me.
What?
Is it because I'm a working class Mexican, Kevin?
No. Oh, God, this is going left.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Live, Kev.
Nobody's here, though.
Oh, you gotta put the link in the thing, huh?
All right. Where did it go, cuz?
Let me get this one closer.
You wanna know where the hot link went? That's all I have.
Somebody, please, give me something,
Come on,
please.
now. Please, man.
Anything?
Texted Josh? Oh, it came from me. I was like, I ain't text myself. Why you drop the song in the middle of the night?
I was telling Josh about that. I was like, I'm glad that I still have something that I care enough about that it would hurt my feelings if people didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'm still like super sensitive about it. I just dropped it. I was like, let's give them some, let's load them up this week. Cause
Yes.
and I have a clip from the video later of the week.
Kev, our wall's falling apart, by the way.
Oh, well.
I think it's the heat.
Oh, did you tell me about how the sign fell down?
I already tried to fix it. Oh, yeah, the sign fell down, too.
You kept on
I think it's
saying
the
sign fell down.
adhesive.
Was it glued on there?
Well, it had like it was like a double-sided tape. You know that thin little styrofoam, spongy adhesive? Which is fair, because that means she didn't tack the walls up.
All right. It's a lot.
But, I mean, we don't see it on camera, so it's not a big deal, but it's still...
Do we have any more of these left?
Maybe. But, I mean, it still sticks a little bit if I play with it.
It's kind of loose here, too.
Your butt's out.
My butt?
Yeah.
Your butt's out, your butt's
Is it
out.
on camera?
I don't think so. I think you're okay.
Thanks, man.
Plus, nobody's coming in yet.
All right, I just put it up. Wow.
You tell Toby we have 3 originals in every podcast now?
Yeah. I wanted to highlight different black artists in this section every episode where we need to get stuff.
What up, KB? Is it Damson? Darnson?
Damson.
I'm a little far. I can't read that part. I put the live closer to you for the audio.
Because I don't make care what you think, Josh.
I just want them to hear pretty much nicer.
You have the slate?
I will.
Hello, friends. It's Kevin and DoBoy. Your best friends on Patreons.
Oh, the AC feels great in here.
It doesn't come in this room, though.
I'm going to leave it open a little bit.
Yeah, let the love hour get in there and get cozy.
Yeah. Are you guys shooting love hour after this?
Yeah.
I have an appointment. I'm trying to see if I can change it.
Going with appointment?
Haircut. So I can go see the movie.
What time's the movie?
12.
Okay.
Cause it's not so I'm gonna see if we can move it.
You should get a haircut on Thursday, right before Essence.
That's what I'm going to try to do. Especially because our flight's at 5:30. Are
Or
we
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Just-
Thursday the 4th. That's gonna be tough.
Are we all on the same reservation? Or are they
Yeah,
individual?
Southwest. It's
Okay,
Southwest.
I'll just think it so I don't have to worry about checking in. Because
It's Southwest, yeah.
Okay.
I got early bird check-in.
For all of them?
Kevin, you're so good to us, man. I don't understand.
Are there people in the live right now? How many people there?
We got 70.
70.
Hey!
7-0. Good morning for Virginia. We were there last week, guys.
What a blessing.
Did you listen to the song, Kevin?
I did.
You like it?
I love it.
Oh man.
I enjoy your music.
Thanks,
I'm a
man.
big fan.
I'd be nervous. I think you'll joke about it and then I'll get sad for real.
I wouldn't. I always thought you were a good rapper.
Thanks, man.
San Diego.
Yeah,
Song was fire,
yeah,
Tina
yeah.
Marie says.
By the way, guys, we didn't tell you this, but since we couldn't get in the hotel on Sunday, we did shoot a Righteous and Ratchet Adventures, so you'll be able to see that early. Not necessarily this week, because how do you want to do that?
I'm gonna edit them as we get them.
Okay, so
I'm
New York is
gonna
next.
get New York up this week.
Okay. Essence should probably go up before Philly, just because Essence
Because
would've
it's
just ended.
more timely.
Yeah.
Feel that?
But we will always give you guys Righteous. When Josh sends me the rough, I will give it to you guys.
That's true.
And then
It was missing a whole second of clip.
It missed a whole black.
And I didn't
section.
approve of that. I
Yeah.
I
He didn't know I
specifically
was
said
gonna
do
put it
not air.
In Patreon.
He was about to air that episode though, just as is. I was like, man, just give me.
But
Relax.
we'll always send you guys stuff early. So we didn't do nothing. We just couldn't get
Right.
into the hotel, so we shot Righteous and Ratchet Adventures instead.
And it was hot outside.
We'll load y'all up this week. We
All
got
right, y'all ready?
And it was overwhelming with people.
you. Yeah. Are you good with the order of the docket? Yeah, you know how we do. Okay.
Speedy.
Righteous and ratchet, take one.
Okay.
I'm ready, Anthony.
All right, you ready, Joshy?
I'm ready.
Oh, yeah.
What up? This is your boy, DoBoy.
And Kev on stage.
And we are going to start it off to the right with another installment of
Righteous and Ratchet and Righteous and Ratchet. I said
We're back.
adventures. We were talking about Righteous and Ratchet adventures. But this is regular Righteous and Ratchet, the podcast that you love.
Absolutely.
And right now, we are streaming live for our Patreons. Hello,
Hi,
Right Pack.
Patreon.
Hello.
Right pack.
Right Pack. R.
That's like our battle call in the streets now.
It
I
is.
like it.
The Right Pack gets to watch these episodes when we shoot them. Because they're on Patreon.
Today is Tuesday.
Yes.
The rest of the world will get it Wednesday, so they get it live, and they also get exclusives like DoBoy's new single that was just previewed.
Dropped early on Patreon.
Yeah,
They got to see
and-
Righteous and Ratchet Adventures early on Patreon. And they get a bonus episode every week. www.righteousandratchet.com.
Say it one more time for people in the back.
www.righteousandratchet.com.
And you can get in on all the fun for as low as $5
And if you
a
feel like
month.
giving more,
A month.
give
Go
more.
ahead.
Oh yeah.
For $5 to get you in.
For
Just
$5 get you in the club, and you can be here. Once you in,
What is that?
this is how they be doing.
You can't hit from outside the club.
You can't hit outside the club. You can't even get in.
Look like that look like a chicken wing dance because your arms is like this on the elbow.
Ooh, chicken wings.
I
Did you have
like it.
breakfast?
I did not.
Did you have breakfast, Josh?
No, I had
very
2
much
squares
so.
of beef
You
jerky.
guys want to eat after this?
No.
Guess what?
What?
Let's go ahead and get into the proceedings. This
Get
week.
into the real things in your life because some things are changing. It's July
First.
2019.
Well, second now, but yes.
Yes, and
Officially
your
halfway
life
through
has
the year.
a change.
Oh, it's
Speaking of things
good.
going well in people's lives.
I no longer have a roommate. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. I no longer, I'm a 39-year-old man, and this is big for me. I moved to Los Angeles.
Everything's big for you. Top, bottom, thighs.
I moved to LA at 30, and it was a lot of roommates since then.
How many roommates have you had since you moved? Who have you lived with that I know?
Donovan Jordan,
Mhm.
BT Kingsley. Yeah. Who else? LaFonda Baker. I don't know if you know LaFonda Baker. She's an actress. So yeah, that's about I think the people that you would know. RT,
3? Yeah.
my roommate right now. So yeah, and then my ex-wife, but I don't know if you really call that a roommate.
That was like a trial, right?
Yeah, it was just like it was like a.
You really had a 90-day trial with her
my.
and took marriage back
Yeah,
with
like-
8 days to
Yeah,
spare.
just take this.
Before you charge my credit card on the marriage, I'm gonna go ahead and delete that
you
email.
go ahead and get out of here. But it's the big thing about it is that it's difficult as a grown man to live with other grown men.
You know, roommate shaming is a thing.
Roommate shaming, is it?
Yeah, they shame people on the internet for roommate.
Yeah.
Men only.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I've had women be like, "Oh, you ain't got your own. Well, you won't have nothing with me."
Did she
Well,
always have her own?
Huh?
Did
Not
she-
always. No. But
So
she'll
she
look
had
at
a
me-
roommate, but you couldn't have a roommate?
Yes. There was a very affluent. And I'll tell you this person's name off camera. I remember she was just like, "Nah, I just could never date a dude that had a roommate. That's just such a turn off." I'm like, "But I met her husband. Probably my names." Well, you need to get it together before you.
I feel like I know who you're talking about, but let's talk about
I
this
can
on
tell
here.
you who. It'll be an easy guess. But
But you
no,
had your own room.
yeah.
You weren't sharing the
I have
room.
my own bathroom too. You
Own
would think that was meant for
bathroom?
something?
Own bed?
Man.
Even though your bed was on the floor, it was yours.
It was mine. Air mattress that was always flat because I fat. But
That's high.
that's a thing though. So it's like, when you and I talked at the beginning of the year, I had some real, serious goals that I wanted to accomplish before 40. One of them was I did not want a roommate anymore. I don't. So the top half of this year has been good to me. I quit my job on February 1st. It turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made, guys. I mean, it's just you got to be faithful and be able to jump out there.
Sometimes you just gotta trust God, and make that
Sometimes
leap.
You got to trust God. Can we get this update?
Yeah.
Weight loss challenge. So
Oh,
let's talk
That
about
was
it.
not on the
I don't
docket.
know. We're gonna talk about it. So me and Kev had a bet, and we started. We have a bet currently. And when we started, I was at a portly 320 pounds, and Kev was at 260 pounds. Now it had started to get to where I was losing so much to where Kev offered me an out like DoBoy. I'm gonna let you out, man. Just give me 500. I said no.
really?
Oh yeah, 300. I said no. I'm gonna see this through to the end. So I went to his house the other day before we left, He was like, "DoBoy, man, I seen you in your little Bulls jersey."
Let me pause you here. Let me pause you here. DoBoy was shooting a music video last week, and he posted a picture of him in the Bulls jersey, and I was like, "Yeesh." I even commented like, "You look great." And usually I go in your comments and mess with you.
Right.
This time I was just like, "Hey, you look great, man."
No, you said you didn't call me Scottie Pippen, but still.
Oh,
we
you know
talked.
what?
We talked.
That was another picture.
Right.
Oh, that's why I was hurt.
What's
I was
Scottie
like-
Pippen?
So I said something.
He was
hurtful.
backlashing and fat shaming.
Scottie Pippen was funny.
Yeah, that was
and Tony
funny.
called you Phil Snackson.
That
It was
was
2 for 2.
Real snack.
Let me tell you something else I didn't tell you. I spent the next 15 minutes going down the Bulls roster to think of other ones. Nothing's as good as Phil Snackson.
I need something, please. He's beating.
But I was like, okay, DoBoy's obviously losing weight. So we weighed ourselves.
Yes, and I.
DoBoy, let me tell you, because it hurts me more.
Okay.
DoBoy came in at a svelte 285 pounds.
Woo!
And you look good, kid.
Thank you, sir.
I came in at a not so svelte
258.
258. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. And I was
No,
talking
man,
to
no.
Greg
Say
about-
that number for 2 seconds.
No, I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you because I hadn't been weighing myself, and then I realized I was talking to Greg, and he was like, "Kev, you are not working out to lose weight."
Yeah.
He said you are working out to get stronger. Because my thing was,
And you are stronger, and you do look smaller,
Yeah.
ironically.
that's the crazy thing. So I was telling Greg, I was like, "Man, why is he killing?" Because I hadn't stopped working out. I mean, let me be honest.
You're talking
June-
about Mexico.
Oh man.
June, it wasn't even Mexico. It was the
16
culmination of being gone for 3 straight weeks
Right.
from my house. So June started off with we had the longest trip of our lives.
Yes.
Right, going into June,
New York,
into Canada.
yeah.
No, I'm talking about Edmonton.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't get back. That was a 5-day trip. We didn't get back till Monday.
Right.
Then my son graduated 5th grade, and then I don't. He's going in there. I feel like we need to put a thing on it, but they put a thing on it. After that, we went to Mexico. You didn't go to Mexico.
No.
I worked out like crazy in Mexico.
You also worked out some chimichangas and some
Oh,
burritos.
Oh man.
have you heard what are those things called? Sopes?
Sopes.
Sopes?
Yeah.
Dough.
What is
I
it?
want
ones
to
that
take
we-
you back to this resort.
Sopes?
The ones that we had were mini.
They were little like.
So they're like it's like a little. I don't want to say.
Yeah, tell us
it's
the
like
food of your
it's
people.
kind of like a fried tortilla chip is what normally comes in. It's like a circle situation.
Mm. Yeah.
And it's like a little bready though, but then they put a layer of refried beans, some of that cojita cheese, that little crumble cheese,
Yeah.
Oh.
and then sometimes we'll throw like some beef on
They had
there.
little
some pork.
cheese, little pork.
I think it was
sauce.
carnitas
Let
actually.
Let me
It
tell
might
you
have
what,
been.
I was popping them things like
Yeah, I
mentos.
probably would have came back. I probably would have came back in 280 if I was
So I went to Mexico for a week, and
Right.
on vacation. It was like a cruise, basically, all inclusive resort. I knew I was kind of losing it. The 3rd or 4th day, I was eating.
But you're on
cheeseburger.
vacation, you deserve
I ain't
that.
gonna do
No,
that.
let him
So
finish
that-
the cheeseburger thing though.
I
Hold
had
on, that's
cheeseburger at
important.
8 by the pool.
Wait, Kevin.
8 a.m.
Kevin! Why are you eating a cheeseburger? That's not even a breakfast food.
It's all right. No, his lunch.
What do
was-
you want
his-
for breakfast? A burrito with regular stuff. Like, who does that?
No, but his lunch was better though. Kev, what would you eat
It's
for lunch?
spaghetti for breakfast.
So then at 11:30 for lunch, another cheeseburger.
Cheeseburgers for breakfast and lunch?
Just like run that back.
Yeah.
They were good though.
See, you didn't post that video, but you post the push-up videos.
Finish strong. That burger though.
Doing pull-ups to your mouth.
So hold
that's
on,
what-
no, let me keep going because I had to think about this. So then after Mexico, we went straight to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And we spent the weekend there, went to Memphis, and then from there we went straight to New York
And that,
for another week.
Yeah.
Then we came home for a little bit. So basically for the month of, and so what happened for me is I never stopped. Watch out, bud. I never stopped lifting, but our workouts are totally different.
Yeah.
You will be on the treadmill for 2 hours straight.
Absolutely.
I have about an hour workout. 40 minutes of that is weightlifting.
Yeah.
20 minutes is
And
cardio.
you're strong.
I have never been.
I see you're
I'm up to
another-
120 push-ups per workout.
That is
I
crazy.
couldn't do more than like 30. I can do clapping push-ups. I can if you follow me on Instagram stories, I stopped posting them because I feel like I kept posting the same thing over and over because I've been working out with Greg.
Right.
But strength-wise and actually body-wise,
That's
like
the
picture in
weird
Mexico,
thing about weight loss. You look smaller.
I
Which is-
definitely
no
look
cap,
smaller.
No cap. You look smaller.
But technically, I don't weigh less.
Right.
So anyway, here's the funniest part about it. So I go, where were we? I don't even know where we were this weekend. Where was our shows at?
Richmond, Baltimore,
Philly.
Okay. So this must have been Baltimore gym. No, Richmond. Richmond was the first place we were, right?
Mhm.
That's where the kids came back.
Yeah.
So I'm in the gym with Greg. I'm like, I'm not going to eat nothing else but lettuce and water. I don't care. Well, I'll die before DoBoy eat. We go to Philly. I was like, I eat everything.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken, cheesesteak, a lot.
All right, we did this for Righteous and Ratchet Adventure. We shot at the
We have to eat on those. When we were in New York, we were eating pizza. We were eating.
So I thought about it. The way you feel about your weight loss journey while working out, throw it out.
Yeah.
Because that is not the realistic you. Everybody in the gym, while you're in the gym, oh my God, smoothie, this.
Kill Mafia.
I'm telling you, the thing for me, and this is actually, if you win, I told you this, I'll be super happy for you. And I realize we're not even playing the same game.
Right.
We're both just working out. We're working out for different things.
Right.
So, but I would be really happy for you and really sad for myself. But the thing that I realized that is hard, and we'll talk about this later with our update a little more.
Right.
This touring life,
It is difficult.
This is like for me, it's even harder because it's like basically 2 years straight of touring. I took basically 8 weeks off for November, December. But I was talking to my brother about this. I was like, I feel like I've been on the road all year, and he was like, you have. I was like, the tour didn't start till late January. He's like, but yeah, you took warm-up shows all January to get this 2 hours. So I've been basically on the road for almost 20 months straight because we started last year's tour. Actually, February of 2018 we started.
Wow.
We went from February to October. I was taking November, December off, and then I basically started right back up the first week of January. Once the new year. Actually, I started on January 1st. My first show was December 31st at Watch Night, and that was the first time I debuted the new hour. And then I spent the rest of January tuning it, and then we started on tour.
And that I never really told you that was very, very impressive. Because it's not just easy to come up with a new hour and to be able to. A lot of people, like even the greats, will work an hour out for a year before they'll start to put stuff on television. So
Kevin Hart even said he took more time than I did. He was like, I take 2 or 3 months of like, because he'll go to like Ontario and he'll be just doing shows, working it out.
Right.
I did like, and this isn't like big up me. This is more like
what you had to do. You were doing it on the weekends. He was doing it every single day with a lot more resources to help him do that.
And the thing about touring, this is why I was dumb to do a weight loss challenge, and part of the reason why I did it anyway. It is the hardest time for me personally. I don't know about other people, but for me, I am routine driven.
Yeah.
And to have touring, even within the tour, when I was doing better as far as eating, we had a routine. We were like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we'd be back.
Right.
And then it was like every Thursday we'd out or Friday morning. But then over June, the tour just went into overdrive. And so perfect example. So this week we go to Essence, which shout out
Essence.
Oh man, Big G's always looking out.
Shout out to God, because I have never been.
I have never.
Me neither. I've been wanting to go to the music festival for years.
Yeah.
No.
And I always thought I would just go like
as a customer,
as a consumer, just like I'm gonna pull up because I like music.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just all the black people down there having a good time, and they're my age. You know, it's not like Coachella where it's like
I just feel
like
extra stuff. There's a bunch of drugs and music.
Yeah, when people say that, I'm like, bro, nothing about that seems. First of all, being in the middle of the desert in California, off the rim.
People be having the pooping bags. I'd be like, oh.
I don't know if that's.
I don't know. It looks like something that they would have to do, right? Come on, guys, huh? You don't be seeing a bunch of bathrooms, but you be seeing thousands of people.
Those are for the dogs, though. That's the doggy bags.
Wild porta potties, but being somewhere hot. I don't even like being around people who are drunk,
bro. And being around drunk people in that capacity, there was 70,000 people at Rolling Loud, 70,000 people in one spot. At the end of the day, they're trying to get through that heat. They're drinking, they're doing all the drugs and whatever. It's overwhelming. I don't like it.
I can't.
I only like going to festivals if I'm working it and I know I'm in a controlled section of it. Just because I've seen a lot of stuff at that point, but it's overwhelming.
So Essence, I figured we would just go pull up, but I usually work, because it wasn't free, and we got invited to perform. And, I didn't even tell you guys this. We got invited to a power party. They're turning this club in New Orleans into a lookalike for Truth.
Don't play with me.
No, I'm serious. It's a power activation that we got invited to. So bring something other than cargo shorts.
Why would I do that?
Well, you did it for my birthday.
Cargo shorts right now.
I have cargo shorts out there.
Those are the ones you wore on my birthday.
Yes, they lit.
Stop it.
Right, cargo shorts
Go to
and ankle cut
Macy's,
socks.
get you a little suit.
Hey, man,
Burlington.
A suit?
Yeah,
They
get
got
you a little-
suits. They got more than just coats.
Get you a black suit with no undershirt, with the grill and the
Oh, now
chain.
you're talking. Okay, I'm definitely down.
But we need to go back to your roommate conversation.
Oh,
you
because
just touched on it.
Okay, I touched on. Okay, so yes, I don't have a roommate anymore, but that's not even the biggest part that I'm so happy about.
Oh, here it is.
The biggest part that I'm so put your phone down, Johnson. Listen to this.
I'm listening. The biggest
The
part
biggest part
that
that I'm happy about is that my beautiful daughter Kiara Janae Belcher
Good.
is moving in with me full time and starting her high school journey
Oh,
with her father.
And you got her own
Her own room, her own bathroom. I'm like cleaning out because I'm giving her my old room and I'm taking the bigger room. So I'm like
Of course,
decorating
you're
it,
selfish.
and I'm just like, yo, my kid is coming to live. Because you know we give up a lot. Like I moved when my daughter was 4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now for her to be getting ready to turn 14, and for us to be able to share this journey, I've just been talking about it every day. I've just recently signed her up
You
for
keep
school.
reminding us like you haven't told us 5
Man,
times.
I'm just so
every
happy.
day of the tour.
Because
Hey
I'm
guys,
so
I've got a
That's
roommate
my
on Monday.
baby girl, man. So the top of the year, and at my weight right now that I'm at, I'm lower than I've been even before I went to rehab. I'm just everything is going great with Kevin on Stage Studios. God rewards bold moves. I just am in a good space. What is? Give us your update for the top of the year, bro.
It's not as happy as you think it is.
Really?
Yes. I'm gonna
Whoa.
share the truth. Didn't
Oh.
tell you guys at all.
Oh.
Save it for the pod. Like
Are you really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
no.
So
What's a ride?
we we've been taking my youngest son to therapy because he'd been struggling with our touring schedule.
Okay.
So my wife took him last time, and we took him. I took him last time yesterday, just me and him. And he basically is it's like the best and worst things happening at the same time.
Okay.
Career-wise, everything is great, and you know we're essence and this and that. But he was like, it was just me and him in there, and he was like, "Y'all be gone too much.
Man.
Oh, man.
Y'all be gone too much.
Dang.
Like, I need y'all to be home more." And I was like I knew that from last week's therapy session, so we made some adjustments in their like thing. But I'm gonna tell you the part that like nearly broke me in. It was so hurtful that I couldn't even cry. Like it was, like my emotions. I
Was it
imagine
numbing?
it's like, huh?
It was like numbing.
It was like numbing. I imagine it's like when people are in war and they see something that's so graphic that it's too much to even do. So I have been like, so I've always traveled their whole life, right? And they never really had a problem. And we worked through it in therapy, I'm gonna
Shout out to you.
I'm gonna start going to therapy.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm gonna start going to this therapist. Like,
Give me
she's
that
good.
number too, because I need the person too.
Yeah, she's right over here.
Okay, cool.
You should take
So-
like group discounts. Like you think I
Hey,
should
Kevin Stage
I need
Studios
to get on
discount.
that though. That's for real though.
So, but I will give you her number.
Thank you.
Melissa actually has it.
God bless you.
So we kind of worked through this. I've always traveled their life, right? But my career only started taking off the last 2 years. So when I used to do stand-up, it would be, I'd be in the clubs in Washington, and I'd always come home that night.
Right.
So daddy, they go to sleep, I'd be up in the morning, right? Then in LA, before Facebook popped off, it was like a performance once a month, maybe
Right.
twice a month. Then Facebook started picking up when 2016, and it was pretty much every Saturday. But they would take me to the airport on Saturday, they pick me up on Sunday. And I know that because I never even missed a Game of Thrones episode until this season, because last season it was off.
Right.
But I never missed an episode. I've never been at home before, and we're gonna hold that thought.
Yeah,
because
so
has something to say.
I
We'll
got
come
something
right back.
And I'm not, I definitely want to hear.
Yeah, we'll
the
come right
rest
back
of
to
the
it.
rest of that. Hold on one second. Give me. Okay. So, speaking of, well, that was a little bit too deep to be able to do it. So let's talk about Legacy Box though, because I do want to talk. We're actually talking about this off camera.
Legacy, my children are my legacy.
Are your
Speaking of
legacy?
legacy,
Legacies.
Yeah.
There we go.
Speaking of legacy.
Legacy Box is the world's largest and most trusted digitizer of home movies and photos. With over a decade of experience, Legacy Box has been trusted by over 450,000 families to digitally preserve family memories. Now, when we were growing up, we didn't have the luxury of having all our home movies in a digital format. So a lot of time, home movies went unseen for long periods of time. Legacy Box was really able to bring those memories back to life. Send in your Legacy Box filled with old home movies and pictures, and they'll do the rest. Legacy Box will professionally digitize your moments onto a thumb drive, digital download, or DVD. Legacy Box will send you easy to follow instructions, and you'll get all your original recorded moments back along with the perfectly preserved digital copies. Now, there's never been a better time to digitally preserve your memories. Visit legacybox.com today to get started. Plus, for a limited time, they're offering to our listeners an exclusive discount. Go to legacybox.com/RR to get 40% off of your first order. Again, that's legacybox.com/RR and save 40% today. Get started preserving your past. And because family memories and different things like that are important. But get back to the serious tone that you had 2 seconds ago.
So we're in the therapy session and
Okay.
we're working through this, and I realized 2016 it's a Saturday, but I'm always on Sunday, no big deal. Then it becomes the tour, and it comes Friday, Saturday, Sunday gone. Friday, Saturday, Sunday gone. Friday, Saturday, Sunday gone. Week off. But we did that for six months, right? So then towards the end of that tour ends, I take November, December off. Everything's cool. And then Melissa and I kind of talked about it. We're like, man, that was too much for even us.
Right.
And Melissa was like, I don't really want to be gone that much. One of us should be home. So we did much reduced dates for her on the 11 hour this year. She did like maybe 25 as opposed to like 60 last year, or 55 or 60, whatever. And that was better, right? But then she starts coming back on the road again, and he starts struggling. And it was little stuff that we didn't, like we noticed, but we didn't notice. Because he'd be like, who's picking me up? And mostly us. But then on the days it was like, oh, Uncle DoBoy or Miss Sabrina or whoever, and he's just like, okay.
Right. I remember when I would pick them up, sometimes he'd be like, "Is my mom gonna be there? My dad?" Like he would ask, and I'd be like,
and it wasn't like clicking for us, like that. It was a bigger issue than I thought. And first of all, this kid's emotionally honest. The therapist even stopped and was like, "Let me just time out. You are the most emotionally honest 10-year-old I've ever seen. Most adults never achieve this." So we keep moving on. So then it's like when I left ADD last year and my wife got laid off, my knee-jerk reaction, this is before we did podcasts, no Patreon, no other stuff. I was like, I gotta go out and get this bread.
Hustle mode.
No Love Hour ads, like nothing. It's just go on the road and get this bread or your family suffers. So as a dad, I'm like, I'm gonna go get it.
Which is interesting because that's a very masculine trigger. Like
Yeah,
I need to provide.
I need to put food in the cupboards, shoes on feet, lights up, jackets on, kids growing. I got y'all. Daddy will go to work, right? So he says, and the thing I had been telling myself, I was like, okay, so because I still have more. I'm always gonna travel, right? And I told the therapist, and I told Joe, I said, look, I love you. You are my life, but this is my job, and I have to travel. But what I will do is make adjustments for you. And I asked him, I said, is it easier for you when mommy's home? And he was like, yes, of course it's easier. Like literally he's talking like this. No little kid babble.
Man.
Right.
Yes, of course it's easier for mommy when mommy's home. But then he said, and it was like the happiest, saddest thing I ever heard. He was like, I still need my time with you though. And I was just like, I felt like I let him down. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you wanna be everything to your kids. You wanna be dad, you wanna play, and that's part of the reason. Like, because I'm so active in their life and I mess with them when they're home, when I'm not there, they feel that. And he, like Zay says, a little older, so he has his own friends and he's not affected the same way. But Joe, man, Joe be so happy to be home. He don't even like all the stuff we plan. He be like, "Oh, this is cool." But when I remember, I kind of got frustrated with him last year. I was like, "Dude, I don't know where we were, somewhere nice, overseas." And I was like, "You don't like this?" He was like, "I do. Like, Paris is cool, but when are we gonna be at home?"
We're gonna just be sitting playing video games and farting.
Literally, when are we just gonna be at home? So, because he didn't want to go to therapy at all. And me and Melissa were like, nah, we as parents need to understand how to help you. And when we ask him, it's interesting that a therapist, somehow the way she asked the questions, we're not trained to do that. And when we were like, all we ask you to do is answer honestly so we can help you. And I told him, if you broke your leg, we would take you to the doctor, we put you on a cast, we give you medicine, whether you want to take it or not, we would do X, Y, and Z. And I feel like it affected me more. Melissa was sad when we were in Canada. I don't know if I told you guys, but she called me like telling me all this stuff, and it was sad, but it's different to hear your child sit there and be, because it was like, man, I was like, I didn't know what to say. I was just like,
Kev,
I'll quit this.
The extremes have been like,
I'll never leave again. Right. But I had to be honest because I know like the thing about life is, and he really understood. He was like,
he's a very bright kid.
He was like, I understand that you have to go. I understand that that's how you pay for our lives, but that doesn't make it any easier when you're gone. It's still painful when you're gone. So we really like worked through it. Cause I imagine like, you know, a lot of, I grew up military, so my dad was gone a lot, the whole year sometimes. And I don't even think nobody even ever asked me how I felt about it.
Right.
It was just like, you an Army kid, dads be gone.
Do you think that has something to do with the fact that maybe you just think, since you went through it, that it, like, since you've experienced it, that since you understand that you think your children will be able to deal with it, or? Like,
yes.
Do you think that there's a correlation between?
I hadn't thought about that, but I think that is absolutely true.
Right.
And I think the difference is, if I really think about it, when you grow up on a military base, everybody's dads or moms is gone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's the norm.
It's the norm. It's not unusual.
Right.
Like, it's like, oh, my dad's TDY, oh, my dad's in Korea. Like, that is not even an unusual thing. And maybe I found solace in like and also you move around a lot.
Right.
So like my kids would be broken if they had to move as much as we did.
Right.
Because they're not used to it. But I was moving every 2 or 3 years.
You were conditioned versus
conditioned.
They're growing up.
And they're like, dude, please. When we joke around about moving to Atlanta, they're like, no.
Right.
I like my family, but my friends
here,
they have lifelong friends, and I never got that. And you get used to whatever your life is. But you know, there's a readjustment period. So I was going to talk to you about this, for both of you guys, about this for Righteous Adventures. But the best part about it is it allowed me to make an adjustment, right? Because I was supposed to go into a meeting tomorrow. So the therapist is like, so what about the 4th of July? Because he was like, what happens is you guys are gone, and the therapist actually said this. The things that we get to do when you're not there, we don't get to do. So like 4th of July, like I've never missed the 4th of July with them. They've always been with me. Right. Always. So it's like the best part of getting invited to Essence is tied to the worst part, which is I always take my barbecue or fireworks. We always have done something.
Or even like the movie today.
Yeah. Even the movie. So I'm gonna get to that too. That's a great point. So the therapist was like, good on you, me, for being honest and saying, this is my like I can't put it all down. Like I can't go work a regular job. Like even if I wanted to, I will get fired. Right. It's just not in me to do that anymore, right? But it doesn't mean I have to work at the pace that I've done before. So what I do, I had a meeting, I was supposed to go in tomorrow, I hit them immediately after the session. Look, I know I said I was gonna be able to come in tomorrow for a couple hours. Can't do that. Right. I got some family stuff, I gotta be home. And it didn't really matter what they said. Right. That was, you know, it's finna be right. So then we worked through some other stuff. Joe was like, okay, so they were with us this weekend in Philly, even though they don't want to go to the comedy show. They want to be, knowing we're coming back to the same place that they are, is better. So they get to hang out. You know, in Richmond, they stayed in the green room and watched Netflix movies, and we popping in and out after our sets. They're cool with that. In the other shows, they're like, can we not go to the show? Can we stay at the room? No problem, because we're coming back. Melissa coming back out to the Love Hour in Philly. You know, so Joe is like, if you guys have to be gone, like best case scenario, mommy and daddy both home, and we're all 4 together. Or we're all 4 out of town. All 4 together is... At
some point in the night tonight, everybody's going to be
everybody's here. Best case scenario. Second best case scenario is one of us is home. Next is if you have, and my youngest son really said, if you have to be gone for an extended period of time, we prefer to be with family than a babysitter. Right? So like 3-5 day trips. So like we were going on a cruise, Melissa and I always take a vacation with just me and her. So we'll hit my sister or my dad or Melissa's dad, hey, can you guys come stay with the boys for this week, as opposed to like hitting up Sabrina or you or whatever.
Right.
Because now that he said that, it's like, okay, bet. Like, so for instance, this next 10-day trip, they're gonna go to my brother's house.
Okay.
Because he was saying like this summer they were the last 2 weeks they were supposed to be at their grandma's house all summer, but Isaiah had robotics and then this and that, all this stuff ended up happening. So we built the tour heavy in this part because I knew they'd be at their grandma's house, right? But it ended up not working out like that because he was like, I need to be with you guys, and it was just a whole bunch of stuff. But bottom line is, he was with his cousins for the last 3 weeks, so he wasn't tripping. He was at my dad's house with my dad's side of the family.
Familiarity of family.
Yes. Cousins, and since they don't get to see their cousins, it's cool. So in Chicago, and he was like honestly, if I can't be with you guys, can I go to TT Tammy's house and just be up in there chilling with familiar faces? I got my socks off. Bottom line, they just want to have shorts on and socks. You know what I mean? Playing the game. So we were able to make that adjustment, even though, it costs a little bit more or whatever. Like, none of that matters. Like, I thought they'd rather be at home. He's like, no, I'd rather be with family. So they'll go with my sister, and then the tour will be basically, they'll be with us for the rest of the time. Like, we just have another 10-day trip. And now, so here's the terrible part. And people don't know this, and I've never really talked about it, or I want to talk about it in this point. I've been offered tours with, you guys know.
What you've turned
big artists, much bigger than me, but it's always 2 months straight, 3 months straight. And there's one I just got offered, and humongous. I mean, not even comedians, people just big. But it's November. This one that I'm turning down, November through January.
Oh no.
World tour, and it was my dream. It's my dream to perform all over the world. But and that part isn't even like, I can't even put that on. I can't go. Like, I don't know how rappers, like, I know it makes more sense, but I can't do the 2 months straight killer tour, right? And now I've got to figure out, and that's why podcasting is helpful, merch and other stuff we're working on, because now I'm like, okay, while my kids are young, I'm never going to tour 8 months again. Never. If I have to make less money, so be it. While they're young, especially Joe, I will condense the amount of time that I have to be gone. Like, and Melissa and I will never tour the Love Hour like that. Like, so we can't change everything and just not tour at all. But next year she's not going except for the 4th of July conference. She shouldn't be traveling extendedly. So, and then the other therapist gave us another good idea. So me and Melissa do date nights because I remember early on the tour she wasn't going. So we always did a date night to make sure she was good. Therapist was like, if you know you're gonna be gone, because we used to do movie nights, but it wasn't consistent. We just be up in the house, and he was like, you guys are home, that's great, but if you're gonna be gone, maybe we should do like something fun together. You know what I mean? So like right now after this, we're going to see Spider-Man. I had bought these tickets months ago, you know what I mean? So now I'm like, okay, if I don't have to go for a 3-day trip, instead of just doing regular stuff, on Thursday, let's have a movie night in the house. Like, man, a couple weeks ago, we was watching John Wick movies every day. They were like, this is a great idea. Blood. You're letting us watch blood and cussing. You know what I mean? And it was like, man, I know they're growing. By this time of their age, I was watching everything. So I let them watch John Wick because it was mostly blood and cussing. But it was important for me, and this was even without the therapist knowing, but now I can be proactive. Okay, I got a 3-day trip. We gotta have movie night on Thursdays. So now every Thursday, even if we don't go out to the movies, we can go to dollar movies. We can rent movies on Apple, and then if it has to be a longer trip, they'll go to my grandma's house or my sister's house. So anything like that, now I know, because it's like in life, there's no perfect balance. If I stay home every day and don't work, and I go work at a bank, he's gonna be happy.
You would suffer.
I would be depressed.
It's a constant balance. It's a constant like readjustment for new stuff that's happening. But honestly, Kev, like, I think it's important to recognize you and Melissa for taking a step to have that conversation. I think that's breaking a mold that generations before.
My parents, and now this is not against them.
I'm not.
They never asked me how I felt about nothing.
That big difference in my parents. So I think that's just
you shut up and be quiet.
This is what it is. You want to eat something. This is how I make money.
You're staying in the child's place, and you just well.
And I noticed that when we were in Hawaii, and you would say because I started to like pick up on you know, why this is like, it is heartbreaking to see, you know, you go through this, but I remember seeing little things that were just, I would like pick up on stuff, like when we're in Hawaii, and you're like, man, we got this big hotel, like all this other stuff, and they just want to be in the pool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's enough for them. Because,
and that's what I did.
Right. Like, yeah, that
That's
was
why
cool
in
for
Maui,
them.
I'm like, bro.
Right. But I think we forget that sometimes because of everything we've been through, and we've been like, well, we went through all this struggle to get this. We think this is what it is. These are just children, and that's comfort just being in the pool with them all
Bro,
day.
if you are present
Mhm.
in your kid's life
Right.
and active, like go to games, pick them up from school, like their whole life,
Right.
I've taken them and picked them up from school.
Right.
Even when I worked, did all that. Whole life I did all that.
Mhm.
When that changes, they're like,
But
hey
right.
man,
Exactly.
what is up?
Man.
You know what I mean? Like it's a new normal, and like I can really see things more clearly now because I took them through therapy and we're working through that process.
Right.
And also because of amazing products like Warby Parker.
Oh my gosh.
They're
Transitions.
they're an eyeglass company. That's amazing. Warby Parker believes glasses should be viewed as a fashion accessory, and they make it easy and affordable to accessorize with glasses. You may not know this, but I actually need glasses. I wear contacts most of the time, but since trying Warby Parker, I feel stylish in my glasses. They sent over 5 pair of glasses for me to try on for free. Very stylish.
Nice.
I had 5 days to try them on with no obligation to buy. It was really nice being able to try them on at home instead of having to go to an eyewear store. You know me, I'm not really trying to leave the house.
Right.
Because of technology, why? Why should I have
don't
to
want
go?
Right.
Amazon, I literally order like deodorant on Amazon. CVS is by the house. I'm not going out of my way to buy glasses. So like I said, Warby Parker's home try-on program is free with no obligation to buy. You order 5 pairs of glasses, try them on for 5 days. They ship and include a prepaid return label, shipping label. Glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. Lenses include anti-glare and anti-scratch coatings. Blue light filtering lenses are also now available. If you have an iPhone X or iPhone 10, I think, you can download Warby Parker's app where you can use their brand new virtual try-on, allowing you to try on eyeglasses, seeing the color, texture, and size of each style by just using your phone. So head over to warbyparker.com/RR to order your free home try-ons today. Glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. Lenses include anti-glare and anti-scratch coatings. Once again, that's warbyparker.com/RR to order your free.
I was reading a comment. It was one about Kev's thing.
Get it together, please.
So back to this.
Yes, let's stay in this.
We
Let's
will.
stay in this.
So people often think it is the glorious, and it is, but it isn't all glory.
The dichotomy
What
of
cost?
what we
It's
do.
the cost of it. It has a toll.
Yeah.
It has a toll on your weight.
Mhm.
It has a toll on your sleep. I mean, this past weekend, man, I struggled sleep wise.
You
Man,
can't even sleep on a plane. I be feeling bad for you because
I
you know I knock
can't.
out. I wake up, be like, he ain't getting no sleep.
And that's why I'm so grateful when we fly Delta. I get bumped up to first class sometimes
Right.
because you can sleep. And sometimes when I know I have something to do, I'll buy it
Mhm.
just so I can lay down. Because when I can lay down, I can sleep.
Right.
And I'll buy it if we have like a 6-hour flight and I have something to do right after that.
Right.
Because it's like you leave at 6 a.m. New York time. That's 3 a.m. back home.
Mhm.
And you get home and you start off the day. Like because I pick my kids up from school, I can't really take a nap or whatever. But it is the best and worst.
Yeah. The
And
dichotomy of.
And I can't. So my answer,
Low.
yes, you want to use that word.
I did. I just want you to.
You
yeah.
keep
you wanted to
saying
explain it
that.
to make sure that you had it in the right
You said it
context
right.
too. I
Yeah,
like it.
it was good.
Okay.
He just kept saying it.
Yeah, I did.
This
Okay.
all goes back into the behind the grind episode though.
Yes,
Right.
it's
This is
like
the- that's
Kevin
what people
Hart
don't see.
and The Rock and
Right.
LeBron. Yeah, that's great, and it is. But LeBron's on the road 8 months a year.
Yeah.
That is the drawback of this job. And I feel
Absolutely.
like this is my gift, and it is my joy, my dream. And as people, you do your best to chase your dream. But for people to think that, I don't want people to think it is without fault.
Oh.
Because I thought the answer was, okay, I'm
Sacrifice.
going to go on tour and take them.
Mhm.
But they were like, man, I don't
Yeah,
want to get up at 6 a.m. That's not fun.
Well,
And during the summer, they're like, man, if I do that, I basically had to get up early the whole year.
They're waking up earlier than they would for school.
Yes, they
Yes.
just want to chill, watch movies. And so I'm like, okay, so it's about, for me, finding out what the best case scenario is and turning down great opportunities,
Mhm.
which I have. And I know there's another one. There's another one on the horizon
Mhm.
that was like, with a comedian that would like, this could cross you over to a brand new audience, but it's going to cause you to be gone for basically 4 months straight.
Ugh.
And I'm just like,
Mm.
I can't.
And
I-
sometimes
and
you gotta
I
make
have-
those, you
Go
gotta make
ahead.
those tough decisions.
Dude, let me tell you what. if it takes me longer, or if I never get where I could get because of it, so be it.
That's
Like,
why I
I'm-
rock with you, Kev.
Yeah,
That's
I
exactly why I rock
love
with
that
you.
about
I don't want to cry.
That's
Like,
okay, man.
I don't want to lose that. I don't want him to. And I think the best part about that session is he felt the same way we talk about the Love Hour, feeling seen and feeling heard.
Right.
He felt like, man, y'all really listen to me.
That's
You guys, and
Wow.
you're changing your life. You're leaving money on the table. Bro, what is money?
Right. Yeah.
What is money when it comes to my kid being like, could you be home more? Yes. I can't be home all the time,
Right.
but I can be home more.
And the fact that you listen to him and he knows that his voice matters, that's gonna mean the world to
Yeah.
him just later in life.
Yeah, so like our adventure, we were talking about this on the plane in Atlanta.
Right.
Like, oh, I got this one speaking engagement. Maybe we could do this, that, or Ratchet Adventures. After he said that, I was like, nah, I'm gonna just do that one speaking engagement because it's right after the tour.
Right.
I'm gonna come straight back home.
Come on.
And then later on in September and October, we can do a thing here and there.
Right.
Because basically, it's like a love take. And that's the reason why I take November, December off. And the next year, I might take January and February off too. And as far as like any heavy thing, maybe
Right.
March.
Because you're
you
doing
got-
so much heavy lifting the whole time.
You gotta
and you don't
recoup.
even and that's another thing too, Kev. You go. Let me tell you about Kev. Kev, and I be having to tell him,
No.
bro, you
down.
gotta relax. We get to Philadelphia.
Sit down,
We get to
Kevin.
Philadelphia, and I feel like you don't know how to turn it on. It's not a bad thing, but it's like we get there. Now, mind you, like you're the captain, so it's like, but you never just know how to sit down. I had to put it in the
I
text.
feel attacked.
We no, not attack at all. It's like I love that
Attack.
advice, but at the same
Sit
time,
down.
it's like sometimes you gotta give yourself a chance because we get to Philadelphia, we couldn't get in the hotel. His mind instead of just being like, okay, now we
Let's
can shoot
just
out,
go
relax.
chill, go get food.
He's like, well, no, let's go shoot our adventures.
Pops
We
right
go
on the
back,
phone.
and I'm like, all right, we just shot for 2 hours. He's like, all right, man, let's go to the Liberty Bell. I'm like, Kevin, sit down. But but that's just how you're wired. But
I
it's,
don't want to sit and wait in a hotel lobby
Right, but
when
see-
I can see the Liberty.
But there's
Bell. That was
AC
even
there,
you.
it's
But
nice.
sometimes it's just good to just sit down. I think it's just a really, really beautiful thing that you got to take your son, listen to him, and that's another reason why I'm so excited that my daughter's coming on because I've missed so much time.
Yeah.
I missed time with my daughter to where I couldn't even have my daughter around me because I was drinking and I was just like, I don't need her around me, seeing me in this state. So I know what you're going through. So just the fact that you guys were able to sit down, talk about it, and come up with a game plan to make some
Yeah.
adjustments and pivot, I just think that's
So
it's
now
amazing.
for 4th of July,
Mhm.
I canceled all that meetings.
Okay.
I'm finna go buy a barbecue grill.
I'm pulling up.
Or
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
I don't know. And this wasn't to you. It was like because Melissa has something scheduled, and it like literally like might conflict with barbecue time.
Okay.
So it might be we'll do something.
Right.
They
Even if
will
it's just
have
some Franks.
some.
I just want to say Franks.
But now we need to have what we could have had on the 4th. If they had that experience on the 3rd,
Right.
then the 4th doesn't hurt as bad because it's like okay,
You
we
know
have.
that.
We got the pool in the back.
on,
Pool's kind of
man.
dirty. I don't know what my pool man's up to. And also, I felt a little rich, same pool man.
Yeah.
But it ain't really like it comes with the rent.
Nah, you
Right.
use that pool like
But he
one
just know
time.
you ain't there. He probably still cashing that check. It's just like,
He's just
man,
looking
he
around
not
like,
gonna be
I
here.
ain't seen nobody doing
You
it.
know
He
what?
drives by,
Clean
looks
this-
in the window.
You want to
Yeah,
clean
we're
this
all
pool
right.
up?
But having that opportunity to have the same experience that you would have had, years later, you might not even remember that we had that. This is funny. My kids don't know this to this day yet, but it's really funny. Right before we moved to LA, my sister-in-law was moving too. Like it just worked out. We was all like, all right, we out of Washington. So one of the kids' birthdays was technically on Monday, but they were too young to know what dates were what.
That's funny.
So we
You can
told,
trick kids.
we told her, I think might have been Zay.
Oh.
It was August 6th. We told him it was August 8th. It's your birthday! Actually, it wasn't Zay, but I don't know. We told one of the kids,
Right.
it is your birthday today, bro. And let me tell you, I remember now. This wasn't when we moved to LA. It was a couple years prior when his cousins were moving.
Okay.
My sister was joining the army. And we were like, Zay, it's your birthday. He was like, it is? It's August 8th? Yes. We're going to family fun. We threw a whole birthday party.
July 10th, like
2
a bug.
days before his birthday. And then on his birthday, we're just like, he still
Kids don't know. Kids
No, he had the fun. He had the cake. We have a whole bunch of pictures of this actually on my Facebook page. And to this day, he has no idea that we celebrated his birthday in full force 2 whole days earlier.
Kids don't care.
And we told him, like, usually you can have the birthday party on a different day than your birthday.
But
This is the day.
Right.
This is August.
It is today.
And then on
you
his
lied
birthday,
to
we're
me.
just like, you don't know numbers. But the point is
Right.
like, having the experience is
Right.
what matters.
Right.
So now I'm like, okay, so, and this is part of the reason why I wasn't going to do Real Comedians, a social media tour, and headline it again next year, partly because,
Well, that's
you know,
announced.
yeah, huh?
I said, well, that's announced.
Yeah, you just let
Yeah,
it
yeah,
pass by
yeah.
you.
No, I've said it before that Tony's going to headline it.
Oh.
Did you?
Yeah, I said it on the podcast.
Publicly?
Oh,
I don't think
yeah.
I
If I did it, I
did.
just said it now.
You just new announcement alert.
Yeah, but
Tony
Tony's
did
gonna
it.
headline
Right.
it because Tony's kids are 21. They in
Yeah,
college.
exactly.
They can deal with.
They drove
that.
out of his life already, he said.
Yeah, they don't even hit him back. But
Right.
you know, we'll do R&R, but we don't have to do 8 months.
Exactly.
We can do a weekend,
Here and there.
2 weekends a month.
Right.
Oh,
We don't have to do 12 dates. We don't have to do all that. And it's not even necessary. Like, I'm not gonna have to go. I'm not even gonna risk being gone that much
Right.
at this critical time. You know what I mean? Like, it's not necessary. It's not even smart business wise. And thanks to like podcasting and other stuff, it's not even necessary monetarily.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
this podcast has been a godsend for many reasons. And
Yeah.
That's another thing I'm super looking forward to. That's my life now. Is I just get to podcast, you know, and do shows when I want to, and just watch my kid grow up. Like, I'm so excited. So,
bro,
I'm so excited for this, and I'm excited for you now too, that you guys have, you know, had this.
it was great. Schoolboy Q actually said this. He said, "Man, I might not tour." He was like, "Man, I just really want to go see my daughter play soccer."
Play golf.
Because those are the moments you don't get to get back.
My parents, again, harbor no ill will. They would be at home, and I used to play sports, basketball, football, every season,
Right.
all the seasons, little league, school, not in high school. I didn't make the football team,
We know that.
but basketball I did.
Right.
My
JV.
parents would be at
JV,
home.
relax.
My parents would be at home when I be having games.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, fam, what
My
are
parents
y'all
used to do that too. I used to be like head of the drum line, and they would never.
You were head of the drumstick line.
Whatever. If you were a rapper, you'd be Schoolboy Chew. I was waiting for that. It was such a serious topic. I was like, when can I
He's
get
like,
this one
no,
out?
it was like, baby,
I was like, oh, we
baby.
back to Joe, Schoolboy Chew.
I'll allow it.
So,
You can get one off on me. I'll allow it.
I was like, oh, we back to this? Oh, cool. I specialized. But nah, like my parents, like I think that's in a way how I became talented at things. I was always just trying to
man.
impress my parents.
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
like, I rap. They'd be like, man, go sit down.
Man,
Yeah.
shut
I
up.
play drums. Shut up. So man, shout out to you for being aware enough to get your son there, and I definitely think you're definitely going to benefit from therapy as well. I definitely feel like when you start talking about some things and
I'm scared.
it's okay.
I'm gonna do it though.
terrified, too.
It's okay. You gotta talk about it.
I am going to do it because I feel like, and good on us as a community,
Yes.
as black people, as men,
shedding that stigma.
shedding that stigma of being able to talk about it. And we always say, oh, we're gonna talk about
And
it.
shouts to you and Liz for instilling
Oh,
that
man.
onto Joe at his
At
age,
this age?
or your kids in general. I'm not just gonna
Yes,
single Joe
right.
out,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like just teaching them that emotional honesty is okay and that he's able to process those emotions and communicate them like that at his age and that
And do
capacity.
you remember the movie Inside Out?
Yes.
I never saw it.
I never seen it, but I remember.
I've only
Yeah,
heard
the
great
grumpy,
things.
yeah, all the different.
You guys should watch it
Okay.
because it's about your emotions. And when you're a kid, like a baby, you have pure happiness, sadness, anger, joy. You know,
Right.
and as you grow, your emotions are more complex than that.
Mhm.
So in the movie, joy is the leader,
Okay.
the lead emotion while the kid's a baby, and then sadness, anger comes in, and towards the end, it's really great. Joy thinks joy is the answer to everything, and sadness actually plays a part. So there's one key memory where the girl is happy. Joy thought that was her responsibility, like she was responsible for that happiness. But the truth is, sadness. The girl had lost the soccer game, and she was sad, and she was sitting by herself, and sadness had taken over her as an emotion. And her friends saw sadness, and they came and cheered her up. And the emotion is now a positive memory, but it started off with sadness.
Oh wow.
And I
Okay.
think that's what this therapy session is for Joe. Like, therapy can start off as sadness. I don't want to do this. It makes me feel bad. It makes me. He literally said, and I was like, man, this kid is crazy. I was like, because he had to go.
Right.
And before he was going playing the game, wrestling with Zay Zay. I actually put this on my Instagram story. Like the house sounded normal.
I seen that. I smiled when I seen
I came back last week, it was just like
radio silence.
and I was like, man, they come back and no, they said stop. You know what I mean? Like, and I was just like, it's like it's with people who live in New York. Like when they hear sirens and fightings and stabbings, they're like, home sweet home. So he said, I was like, why don't you want to go? He said, well, I feel like it's boring, and I don't see the value in it. I said,
I don't see the
value. This is honest.
You don't.
He's been here before. I don't see the value. What do you mean?
What do you mean you don't see the value? And so he's like, I just don't see the value in it. And so in the therapy session, I was like, look, man, I don't know what you see.
The fact that your 10-year-old son said you don't see the value in anything is amazing.
I saw the value.
Right.
You know what I mean? As a parent, first of all, knowing you don't know everything and you need help, like I think as parents, our best case scenario is to come from, I want you to have the best life possible.
I don't want you to struggle like I did.
Yes, and I don't like that and I was just fine with nothing, and my kids, I got beat, so just because it happened to you doesn't mean it's right.
They got to pass on trauma.
Yeah, yes, and just because your parents didn't think you should be able to have any feeling doesn't mean it's right. Actually, Tamara Maurer, I think it was, I don't know which one. She was on the Breakfast Club talking about why she doesn't spank her kids, and she was saying, yeah, we all got spanked, like that was the thing.
Right.
But she said the reason she thinks a lot of parents spank their kids is because it's easier. If you have to raise your kids without beating them, it takes more patience. You actually have to talk to them. You have to let them talk back. You have to understand their feelings.
You might have to understand that you're not the best communicator either.
And you might have to realize that. And the easy answer, I'm going to just beat you. And you do what I say because I say it.
You know, last time I went to my daughter, it was, last time I went to her was when she was 5. But this is the thing that changed my view on whooping a child. I remember seeing 2 kids. I might have said this on the podcast before, but I'll say it again. I remember being in the store and there was 2 kids and they were playing. They kept hitting each other. And then as they were hitting each other, the mom looked at one of them that had just hit the other kid. She said, "Did you just hit him?" He was like, "Mm-hmm." And she hit him. And I remember that clicked in my head.
I'll show you.
Like, how does that even make sense? Like, you're going to do something to somebody because they did the same thing that you just did to them to correct the thing. So that made me always feel like we don't have to whoop these kids.
I did that to my son.
You did that too?
Yes. When I didn't whoop them, but this was years ago. One of my kids kicked the other one. I was like, and now you don't hit him. And then I walked back to my room and I was like,
that's stupid. Exactly.
I actually came back and apologized.
And you know what? Another thing that made me, because I remember this as a child, when I used to actually prefer the whooping. Because I'd be like, hurry up, hit me so I can go outside.
Yes.
And then my dad seen that and he was like, oh, really? You're staying in your room for a week. And this is in the middle of summer when kids still played. And I remember I used to have to sit there and think about my decision. So I definitely think that.
Yeah. Whoop me.
Yeah.
That I could do.
Exactly.
That pain's gone in 2 minutes.
But if you got to really sit there and think about what you did, or if you used to make me like write reasons why I did stuff, it makes you reprocess the information. Well, good for you, Kevin, man. I didn't know that you were going through that, man.
Yeah, you think you're the only one that can bring up stuff.
Woo!
And I talked to Melissa about it, and we were just like, man, it's crazy.
I'm glad that you're feeling your feelings, though, man.
Yeah,
that's
man,
really
I think,
good.
and I'm glad for him. I'm like, this is important overall. Right. And it's also important for him to know that the answer always isn't going to be people stop and do whatever you want them to do.
Exactly.
Because that's not how life works. There's a lot of stuff that you have to do that you don't want to do. And the answer is, maybe it's even more impactful if I say, hey, I know I'm going to be out of town, we're going to do this. And then, because what I don't want to do, which is what a lot of parents do, they just be in the house and you don't do nothing.
Right.
You be in your room, kids be in their room. And he was like, even that's better. Like, just knowing y'all are there.
Right, in the other room. Right.
Even that's better. But knowing, look, I care enough about you that I'm going to, I mean, he might not ever know I canceled that tour or turn it down. This has happened like
more than once.
Right. But the names keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
And this next one, I was just like.
And I really respect that about you, man, because I know how hard it is in this game, and I know how easy it is for us to frame it up to ourselves, like, well, I'm doing this for the family, like, you know what I mean? So the fact that you're able to say no to stuff for the betterment of your family, man, that's true character about you, man.
My worst fear, though, is getting a lot of, and one of the blessings about growing up poor, but with a great family, is I don't have any negative, like, poverty things.
Right.
We didn't have much, but we didn't know we didn't have much. But what we had plenty of was love, laughter,
memories.
Like I didn't know the toys were the toys, but we had great times, and we went to the vacations we could afford, and I'd rather have less money,
right,
smaller house, less fancy car, but have a great relationship with my kids. Because my kids actually told me, they were like, man, like gifts are great, traveling the world is great, but really spending time with you guys is the best part of it.
And that's
whether we're home or not on the road as far as touring, but like vacationing together. Like they said, like the thing about Paris and London, it was cool to see new things with you guys and see new parts of the world. But what you can't pay for is time. You can't, no money in the world, and that's why I'll make less money. That's and that's another good thing about being poor. I don't need all my my cars.
Go right back to
paid off.
What it is. And that's a good point that I want to bring. I remember talking to my sister not too long ago. She's seen a lot of people pass away. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's like sat next to people, while, they're taking their last breath. And one thing she told me, she was just like, the one thing that they all had in common, in those last couple moments is that that's all you have is the memories of what it was. Like, it's not the money. You're not checking your account balance. You're not, none of the accolades don't matter. It was, man, this life that I had, these memories that I had, the people that I impacted, like that's all you're gonna really have. So to know and to be able to get ahead of that and to know and you're putting that first, it's a beautiful thing, man.
It's a beautiful thing. That's great.
Okay.
Sorry.
Man. We definitely gotta change the title to this now. I think we should call it Kev Feels His Feelings. Man, you alright, man? You good?
I am.
Man, I wasn't expecting that. How much time do we got left?
I mean, that was an hour.
Okay. I didn't expect to cry. I actually thought because I didn't cry in therapy and I didn't cry when I talked to Melissa about it.
Let it out, Kevin.
I wasn't trying to hold it in. I'm not.
Let it out.
I'm glad that you were in a safe
I'm not
place.
trying. I was never trying. I'm actually okay with crying.
Right.
I don't like crying on camera because I look at the video like, and it's sad of it,
You gotta ugly cry.
I gotta ugly cry. So I don't mind crying. I don't prefer to cry on camera because I never wanted to. I just look ugly. My brother's cancer video when I was trying not to cry.
That made me cry. I almost let it go. I was like, Kev, stop. Jesus.
I cried in the middle of Starbucks when I saw that.
I was so it just looked ugly, but nah,
Wait, are we back on now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. We
could.
I needed to. For me, the best part as a father was I think I had just told myself they're good because their mom's there.
Right.
Hearing my son say, "Nah,
I need you there.
I need mommy's cool," but he said, and it made me feel so great and so sad, and that's life.
Right.
Some things are great and sad at the same time, bittersweet. He said it's just not the same when you're not home.
Wow.
It's just because my wife's not silly.
Right.
I'm silly with them.
Yeah, you're a big kid.
I'm the
you're
one
big
that's
JoJo.
like, yeah, they don't need to watch John Wick, and that's I'm like, well, I don't watch John Wick.
Right. Yeah. Come on, man. And
my wife's not gonna buy Spider-Man tickets.
Right.
She's not averse to it, but she's not gonna be like, "Oh, Spider-Man's coming out, we gotta get tickets."
Right.
It's 12 noon IMAX.
Right.
Candy, popcorn, like we play our roles.
Right.
And that role of fun time, it's me. I'm the thing, and I was like, man, they really appreciate that. Because I thought that, I don't know what maybe you tell yourself that so you can cope with it. Like, maybe they're cool with their mom.
They got it, right. Somebody's there. I'm getting this money providing a life I never had.
And I had to be honest about that. Melissa was like, we were talking about this, we talk about this on Love Hour too, you guys should listen to it. Yeah. She's talking about how, I told myself I'm doing it for the kids, which I got to take care of my kids and stuff. She was like, yes, they benefit from you doing this, but you're doing it because it's your dream.
Yeah.
And
you got to be honest about these things.
And that's why I had to be honest, because I can't tell him I'm never going to travel again.
Right.
I can tell him I'll travel less, and I'll make changes about it, and I'll do more stuff, and I'll make all these adjustments to make it easier on you. But it's like being in the NBA, or whatever. There's a lot of people.
Like you said, like in the military, sometimes if you get stationed somewhere, you're just away from your children. That's why I used to tell myself, like, if I was in the military and I was gone for 2 years, would you be mad? That's tough too, though.
I tell myself that all the time.
Right.
I feel like you said, rightfully so. I grew up military, so I rationalized that.
Accepted it as a way of life.
Yes.
Everybody goes.
But he's not in the military.
And neither are you.
And his friends' parents don't travel.
Yeah.
So he's like, bro, what is up with y'all?
That's good, man. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I hope if nothing else that people watching this can say, "Hey, man, go to therapy. Take your kids to therapy. Go talk about it." Because look how I can tell you look like you look like you really benefited from that conversation.
Yo,
even though even though you had a tough moment and you got emotional, I feel like you feel because I know how you are about your kids. So the fact that I can see like, okay, you got some peace there and some clarity about some things, that's good. You probably wouldn't have got that had you not had those conversations.
No.
And if it would have kept festering, it might have manifested itself in a different way. Because you was going to find out this was bothering him one way or another. It's beautiful you found out within the confines and parameters of a therapist.
And the thing is, we can make adjustments.
Exactly.
We can make adjustments.
Right.
Now I know. Mommy is better, but it ain't okay.
Right.
She is not a replacement for you. She is mom. Right. She can do her part.
You can't do what she does, but
you got to do your part. Exactly. And my therapist was also look at me. His therapist was like, and also maybe you do stuff with just him.
Yeah.
Because he needs it. Because they be like, Zay, you good? You're like,
They be chilling.
Zay be like,
they just be ordering expensive food. And let me get the filet mignon with some sauteed spinach.
He got a surf and turf at this fried crab shack in Baltimore.
I love that about these kids, man.
That's it.
That's his life.
He's the Wynn Buffet. Could you grill the shrimp? He got the shrimp from the cold bar.
Sir, these are cocktail shrimp.
Could you? I know.
Throw it on the fire.
Saute them up a little bit.
A little butter.
Thank you, sir. So that's where we're at in 2019. There's a lot of great things going on. There's also some very, very real things going on. It's the dichotomy of life, but we are getting through it.
Man, growth.
Growth, man. We're good there, man.
I'm gonna be tired. I cried. I'm gonna be sleeping.
It's okay. It was a pendulum of emotions.
Pendulum.
Stop correcting. Do you notice that 60% of the time you correct me, you be wrong too?
70%. But that is absolutely pronounced pendulum.
It's pendulum.
It's pendulum.
When you ask the right pack, is it pendulum or pendulum?
We can ask Google. This is the thing, though. These are Google things.
Can we take his microphone? Can we take his microphone?
Let's go outside real quick. Hey guys, hold on real quick. We'll be right back.
Hold on. Box with your little hands. It's pendulum.
It's pendulum.
It's pendulum.
Okay, listen.
Put it in the mic, yeah, so everybody can hear.
It's pendulum.
Okay, listen. Oh shoot, hold on.
Put it in the mic, yeah, so everybody can hear.
That's YouTube. Sorry.
That's a lie.
It's like the feds.
Pendulum.
Oh.
It said
pendulum.
Pendulum.
Man, what she know, man? You just be listening to her because that's what she. No, you know.
Pendulum.
It's pendulum. Is there a G in the word?
No. Pendulum.
Hold on. Before we get out of here, I'm starting to grow tired of the English language.
How do you say?
Hold on. Let's not scoot past that. The word is spelled with a D.
Right. How do you pronounce?
And
gradual?
I say pendulum.
DoBoy. How do you pronounce gradual?
Well, hold on.
How do you pronounce graduate?
Can I speak? The word is spelled with a D. So I say pendulum, and it's wrong, and it's pronounced pendulum, and there's no G in the word. Why is there a P in pneumonia? Why?
I guess he's got a point.
I'm just saying.
Think of knife.
Why? It's not knife.
Think of
Why
knife.
is it there?
I'm rethinking a lot now.
I don't. Well, I have more questions and answers. Well, this has been another installment of Righteous Ratchet. We had a whole nother slate of topics that we're going to
do. Talk about it on the
bonus episode. So if you would like to hear us talk about Blueface
kicking
out his family. There's a bunch of different stuff. The NBA free agency. No, there was a bunch of stuff. Azalea Banks, dating a white guy now.
Yeah,
there was a lot of stuff for us to talk about. You can hear us talk about that on the bonus episode. I have been DoBoy.
I have been Kev on Cry.
Cry on stage?
Cry on stage.
Tears on stage?
We'll see you guys next week for Righteous and Ratchet, and we'll see you on the Patreon later this week after Essence. We're gonna talk about. God bless you. God keep you. We'll see you at the conference.
Peace.
Can we go to Starbucks real quick? Because I need to eat and I need some tea.
Yeah, man.
You want to take the ride back with you?
Man? Hug me, man.
No, don't hug me.
No, I'm hugging you, man.
No.
I'm hugging you.
No.
Love you. Come on, Josh. Give him one.
No.
Come here, Cam.
No.
Love you.
Get out of me.
Get in on this.
We're friends. I
Get
am friends with
out
Kevin.
of me.
Look, that's you
Love
guys.
you, man. Glad you got that out, man.
All right. Okay, bye. Grab the phone.
We just gonna walk right now?
I don't know about walking, but
Hold on.
We gonna take these guys with us?
yeah, man. Bring them.
Oh yeah.
Call my barber.
Guys, I didn't know I was going to do that. I'm sorry. Can you drive though? Because I got a box in my car.
Yeah.
Jamila Bailey. DoBoys built like fallen peach cobbler. Yeah, man. I didn't anticipate feeling that way this morning. I feel your feelings, man. Vulnerability is strength. Thank you, Angelica. It's tough, guys. I forgot to tell y'all the thing that I was going to talk to y'all about. The text message I received. We'll save it for the bonus episode. Somebody was like, this will be our little bonus after this. Lecrae's boy, Adam, he was like, do you have people that you don't have to be on for? Because I worry about people like you and Lecrae having to always be on and people always wanting and feeling like you're a commodity. And I was like, I do. I do. Like when the cameras are off, y'all, Josh and...
All right, guys, is it working?
Uh-oh.
We pay for the Wi-Fi with the cheap receiver, so we can't go too far outside. Is it working now? In and out? In and out sounds good, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sick of...
Is it working?
Oh, I think it's coming back.
Okay.
Back up. There you go.
All right. So, but yeah. So the truth is, so on my Periscope, the 95, I don't have to be on. I be being honest. But with my friends,
Hey, clean out the bottle.
sorry. But with my friends, Melissa, Doe, Josh, kids, I'm just Kev. I don't have to be Kev on stage. I don't have to be on. I don't have to make them laugh. I guess just get to be who I am. That's muy importante to me. Very much importante.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's working, Josh. The comments are gone.
The comments are gone.
We'll pick this up at the bonus episode. Oh, wait, it's here. They're here. Are you here?
Should be good.
Should be good. I turned the Wi-Fi off.
Hello? Hello?
It's
People are going,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Hold on, let me see if Melissa says she wants something.
Where we going?
Starbucks is go down,
go left, unreceded.
yeah, and turn it off at the light.
The drive-through?
Yeah. So anyway, no, I don't have to be on all the time. Luckily, I only have to be on for shows and for podcasts. Like my friends, and I have good friends who, if it all fell apart, they wouldn't be any less of my friends. I feel like if I had to just go work at that Burger King right there, or Josh, your seatbelt on, man?
Come on, man.
They said strap up, man.
Where's it? Wait,
Sorry,
I got my car seat in the trunk. Let me get that up. We're going to throw it in there.
Leah Booker looking out for you, Josh.
Let's go outside real quick, though.
Okay.
Run the fade.
I hungry.
Yeah, so am I. Actually, you can just go straight down this street, over here to Starbucks. Towards your left. On your left, when you see the Jack in the Box.
I got a guava white peach lemonade.
But yeah, it's easier to have. That's why I don't need like millions of fans. Like I have millions of fans on Facebook, but that isn't my preferred way to communicate because the more people you have, the less likely they are to actually get it. So that's why I like the Right Pack and the 95. Smaller groups of fans who are like the fact that I ain't gonna hold y'all. The fact that y'all let us off the hook for the bonus episode last week was like, oh man, they really like y'all don't just care about us as much as we can give you content.
Right.
Kev was willing to die of exhaustion.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I was like, we got to. And Doe was like, Kev,
please.
like, you got, because we had the love hour in Philly and we didn't think we had the love hour.
Going to do it and then go do 2 hours, go do hour and a half and then do an hour. I'm like, bro, come on, it's too much.
And the fact that y'all was like, and one person in the comments was like, I'd rather have no episode than a bad episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, y'all ain't just in it for the bonus app.
This episode was really good too. I'm proud of you, man.
And y'all, man, the fact that y'all are not just like, no, I paid for a bonus episode and y'all didn't get it and I'll quit. That was more important. The fact that y'all felt like that was more important than like just killing ourselves to do it.
Yeah.
Kevin in the hospital wouldn't be cool.
Nah.
Mental health is value. See, this is a community.
Yeah,
that ain't just.
This is the set, Kev.
This is the Right Pack. The Right Pack cares about us as people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was super nervous to play that in my music. They loved it, man. It made me feel good about
He
it.
didn't even let me hear that song first. He usually lets me hear. I had to wake up and see the Patreon myself. Like, oh, so that's how you feel.
No, that was good though. That was a very healing conversation. That's what I like about our podcast too. We don't have to stick to the stat pro quo of what people think we should do. We ain't got no bosses telling us bullet points of what
We are each other's bosses. Because they told me, and that's another example. Y'all telling me we shouldn't chew the bone episode. It's somebody who cares about me in a sense of like, you don't have to just be on.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, you should be off. And we be getting on each other about rest. We be getting on Tony. Do not kill yourself for us. We would rather see you happy and healthy than anything else. Yeah, man, you be doing the most,
I did
man.
a lot.
Josh, why?
I did a lot.
Sit your butt down somewhere. Shoot, you always got a pulling up musical event. All right, actually, I'm gonna stop talking. You guys can talk because I'm losing my voice.
You gotta hold
A little bit.
a whole other podcast.
I gotta do a whole other podcast. So we love y'all. God bless y'all. See you at the conference.
Peace.